What is confirmation bias? How does it influence our decision making? Confirmation bias is our tendency to search for and interpret evidence in a way that validates a predetermined assumptions or conclusion. We have a laser-sharp focus, selectively focusing on information that aligns with our views, while conveniently sidestepping anything that challenges us. We see the world not as it is, but as we want it to be. We see what we want to see. Confirmation bias is like a personal cheerleader, encouraging us to give a standing ovation to information that supports our favored beliefs while bullying and dismissing anything that dares to contradict us. It's a biased referee in the game of decision-making, unfairly favor one team over the other. The result? Our decision quality suffers, not taking into account all the players on the field, especially those who don't align with our preconceived notions. Ironically, those with stronger logical and analytical skills are not immune to this bias. In fact, they are even more susceptible to confirmation bias. Their cognitive ability, instead of helping them see the full picture, often fuels their ability to rationalize and interpret information in a way that strengthens their existing beliefs. It's like having a superpower that, instead of helping us see the truth, distorts the reality to fit our narrative. Remember the 2016 United States presidential election? Many polling experts, with their sophisticated models and algorithms, confidently predicted a landslide victory for Hillary Clinton. However, the reality was starkly different. This serves as a reminder that even experts can fall prey to overconfidence and confirmation bias. So what's happening in our brain when we favor information that reinforces our existing opinions and dismiss anything that contradicts them? It turns out a region in our brain, the posterior medial prefrontal cortex, is the star of the show. This area, associated with memory, is like a diligent librarian, meticulously cataloging confirming information while relegating disconfirming information to the dusty, forgotten shelves of our minds. When faced with disagreements, our brains don't just ignore the opposing argument. Instead, they are filed away in different shelves so we don't have to deal with it. It's not that our brains are oblivious to disconfirming information. Rather, our brains are quick to spot what we expect to see and slow to recognize what we don't. Our brains are masters of selective attention, adept at reinforcing our beliefs while shielding us away from uncomfortable truths. Remember, our brains are wired for energy efficiency. They're constantly trying to make sense of the world around us with the least amount of effort. This is where selective attention comes in. It's a mechanism that allows us to focus on information that we think important while filtering out the rest. It's like a spotlight that illuminates only a portion of the stage, leaving the rest in darkness. Now, when it comes to our beliefs, our brains have a vested interest in protecting them. Our beliefs form the foundation of our understanding of the world. They gave us a sense of certainty and predictability, which are crucial for our survival. When those beliefs are challenged, it can create a sense of discomfort and uncertainty, something our brains naturally want to avoid. This is known as cognitive dissonance. To shield us from this discomfort, our brains take a mental shortcut that often trips us up. The brains selectively focus on information that aligns with our beliefs and downplay or ignore information that contradicts them. This way, our beliefs remain intact, and we are spared the discomfort of having to reevaluate our understanding of the world. Moreover, our brains are not just passive recipients of information. They actively interpret and construct our reality based on our beliefs and expectations. This is known as top-down processing. When we receive new information, our brains don't just take it at face value. Instead, they interpret in the context of our existing beliefs. If the new information fits neatly into our belief system, it's readily accepted. But if it contradicts our beliefs, our brains are likely to dismiss it or distort it in a way that makes it fit. This is how our brains reinforce our beliefs and shield us from uncomfortable truths, because it helps maintain a sense of certainty and coherence in our understanding of the world. However, this also means that we need to be aware of those biases and make conscious efforts to challenge our beliefs and consider alternative perspectives. During a heated debate, have you ever disregarded the counter-arguments presented by the other party? Have you ever experienced a sense of frustration, feeling that despite the strength of your argument, the other party simply doesn't acknowledge their validity? Rest assured, you're not alone. The person on the other side of the argument probably feels the same way. Here is a scenario. You're exposed to a series of political advertisements, each representing liberal, conservative, and neutral viewpoints. As you watch those advertisements, an eye-tracking device monitors your eye movements, giving you an understanding that your brain tends to prioritize information that confirms your existing beliefs over information that contradicts them. How do you think your eye movements would be distributed across those ads? A, you focus more on the political ads that aligns with your existing political beliefs. B, you pay less attention to the political ads that aligns with your existing political beliefs. C, you consciously avoid the political ads that contradict your existing political beliefs. Take a moment to select your answer. If you select options A and C, you are correct. If you believe that watching Fox News can balance your political views, if you are more inclined to watch MSNBC or vice versa, you are indulging in wishful thinking. The way we process information is highly selective, giving priority to information that confirms our beliefs and downplaying information that contradicts them. Our perceptions are shaped by our preconceptions. We see what we want to see. Consider the scenario of the school principal. The principal, believing in the potential benefits of a new program, might have unconsciously sought out conversations with other principals who had positive experiences with the program, thereby confirming his initial preconceptions. He may have overlooked or dismissed negative feedback, attributing it to unique circumstances not applicable to his school. This is a classic example of confirmation bias in action, where the principal's preconceived belief in the program's effectiveness led him to seek out confirming evidence and dismiss contradicting evidence. In the context of hiring, imagine a manager who has a preconceived notion that a successful candidate for a certain position should have specific degree or a certain number of years of experience. This manager might overlook a candidate who has a different educational background or less experience, but has demonstrated exceptional skills and potential in previous roles. The manager's confirmation bias can lead to delay in the hiring process and potentially result in missing out a highly capable candidate. A safe space can reinforce confirmation bias. Consider a group of friends who all share the same political or social views. When they get together, they discuss current events and find that they all agree on the issue. This mutual agreement can feel validating and comforting. However, it also reinforces their shared beliefs and makes them less likely to consider alternative viewpoints. Over time, this can lead to more extreme beliefs as there is no one in the group to challenge or provide different perspectives. Social media platforms are designed to show us content that we'll find engaging, which often means content that aligns with our existing beliefs. If you frequently engage with posts and discussions about advocating for illegal immigration, your social media feed may start to show you more content about this topic. You come across less content that presents opposing viewpoints or argues for stricter immigration control and encouraging legal immigration. This can create an echo chamber where your existing beliefs are constantly reinforced and you are rarely exposed to contradicting views. When it comes to decision-making, our preference for consistency often leads us to choose options that align with our pre-existing views and preferences rather than what is the best choice. Moreover, once we've settled on an option, we naturally seek confirming evidence to justify our decision. This mental process also sheds light on why first impressions hold strong sway over us. We meet someone who reminds us of ourselves, and suddenly we find ourselves searching for reasons, that is, confirming information to like them even more. Now, let's look at political polling results. How do you evaluate political polls' credibility? Do you meticulously scrutinize the methodological details of the surveys? You may believe that your judgment is objective, untainted by your political leanings. However, it turns out that our sense of objectivity can be nothing more than a facade. Many people evaluate political polling results not based on the quality of the polling methods, but on the actual results. If the majority opinion aligns with their own views, they are more likely to grant credibility to the poll. As the researchers who studied the bias in evaluating of political polling put it, all the best polls agree with us. When the time is limited, confirmation bias can become even more pronounced. If you're in a rush to make a decision about a car purchase, you may quickly gather information that supports your initial preference for a certain make and model while ignoring information about potential issues or better alternatives. This hurried decision-making process can lead to a purchase that you may regret later. The next time you find yourself in a rush to make decisions, slow down. Confirmation bias is prevalent. So here is the question. How can you effectively make your dissenting views heard? It's not as simple as bombarding others with counter-evidence or shouting, "Data don't lie." The human brains tend to dismiss contradictory information as categorically wrong, leaving us stuck in a dead alley. Merely repeating or yelling your dissenting views will not magically make people change their mind, and throwing around statistics, graphs, and charts, that won't cut it either. So what's the secret? It lies in finding a way to present disconfirming information in a form that others' brain can process. And how do we do that? By seeking common ground, the beliefs and values shared between you and your opposing party. When you tap into those shared beliefs and values, it triggers the brain's confirmation bias, making it more receptive to your perspective. forgetting being hypercritical and nitpicking every flaws in others' arguments. Instead, focus on finding those common threads that binds you together. By highlighting shared beliefs and values, you create a foundation for meaningful and effective conversations. It's the key to unlocking minds and bridging divides. So if you truly want your dissenting views to be heard, remember this. It's not about overwhelming others with facts, data, and evidence. It's about finding that common ground and engaging in a constructive dialogue that nurtures understanding. The purpose of communication is not to prove that I'm right, you are wrong, but to have a better understanding and connection with others. It takes active listening, exchanging ideas, and seeking common ground. By approaching communication with a genuine desire to understand others' perspectives and experiences, we can build bridges of understanding and promote constructive dialogue. Start observing your decision-making process and those of others around you. See if you can spot instances of confirmation bias. Please feel free to share your comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.